This is kind of a health update. As you can tell, I don't have on a bunch of makeup. You can tell I've had some more issues. These have predominantly come from all the antibiotics I had to take for the mastoiditis and the infections in and behind my ears and so close to my brain. We knew that the antibiotics were a huge chance because I have something that's very similar to MS. When you give people that have MS certain antibiotics, it can cause tendon ruptures. It can cause weird things to happen to your body. And so it was just kind of a, we have to do this because of how close the infection is to your brain. So we just had to do it. And I've had a very bad few weeks. The last few weeks of the antibiotics were horrible. The first few weeks, well, the first 3 weeks now coming off the antibiotics have been even worse because my bowels were basically stripped during all of that. Even though I was taking probiotics and stuff to help them, my bowels were just absolutely stripped and almost went into gastroparesis, which was fun. And because the hospitals are playing this low census, low nurses, but saying they're completely jam-packed full and only admitting certain people because they get more money to admit those people. Nobody wanted to admit me. They just wanted to pawn me off and tell me, yes, you're really sick, but we think you could probably do this at home, not knowing that I am so severely immunocompromised. It's very difficult for me to do at home. So it's been an interesting few weeks, and I just want everybody to think. Now I don't get picked on a lot when I go out. And when I go places and I have to wear my mask, listen, I am not a viable option for the vaccine. I have an MS-like disorder. I have a lot of allergies. I have a lot of very weird things that my body does because of the disorder it has, that it will react inappropriately to a lot of stimuli. So until they have more long-term testing, I'm not a candidate for this. And I'm not anti-vax. I think that everybody should make their own mind up, and you should be able to, to make peace with your decision. That's your decision, and you go on with your bad self. But I don't think we need to be trying to press people into doing one or the other, and that seems to be what is going on. Is we're trying to be the Starbelly Sneetches, and one is a higher level human being than the other, and that's absolutely in no way does an experimental drug injection improve your humanitarian score. I just want people to understand that. And I don't get a lot of grief when I'm out, but also when I'm at doctor's offices and I'm not feeling good and I'm sitting there like this, I don't look like the nicest person to talk to, especially if I don't have on makeup. So I don't get a lot of people giving me grief. But at the same time, I'm willing to have that conversation, but nobody wants to have a conversation. They just want to scream demands. And I just wonder when society forgot to realize that society is full of human beings. When are we going to start acting like human beings again? Because right now, we're acting like a lot of poo-flinging monkeys in the jungle. See, I can't even talk. I've had one of those days. I just spent like 5 hours at a doctor's appointment to make sure my bowels were not going to kill me. So it's been one of those days. And I still come home and worry about society and other people. It's amazing, I know. Perhaps if I would focus more on my gut, it would heal. Hey! But I am terribly worried about the role modeling we're setting for children, because you think racism is bad, this classism, show me your papers bullcrap is going to be a mind warp woe for children. I mean, look at the kids that have been they're 18 months old and they have no socialization skills because they haven't socialized. They're already having problems. Somebody, a YouTuber on here I watched, and they took their son to a toy store for the first time. He didn't know how to act. And even though if you're being that insanely isolation, proof, you can still take them on a tour through the store on the internet. You know, parents, there's still outlets to train your children about the things in the world that they're missing out on right now. Even if you're too scared to take them somewhere, do it virtually. Do something. Work with your children, because we're starting to see kids come into daycare settings, into school settings, and they don't have socialization skills. But the one thing they are learning is to absolutely hate their neighbor and automatically think that they don't need to be around anyone else and they're better than anyone else they're around. Why? Because they're seeing mommy and daddy role play that. Mommy and daddy, stop that crap. It doesn't matter if you think you're right on any level. It doesn't matter if you think Jesus came down and told you this is what you're supposed to do. The fact of the matter is that you are only responsible for you, and every other person is responsible for themselves. And unless our government goes full on CCP mode, hopefully everybody will still get to make their decisions. And we have to learn that someone else's decision is not our concern. And how we feel about their decision is not their concern. We have to process that. Stop making your world everybody else's world. Understand that it's kind of like bumper cars. We have boundaries. Find your boundaries. Bump off somebody and stop picking fights. But I'm really worried about the world and these little kids, because the hate that I see them growing up in is so toxic, so much more toxic than any hate that I think the last several generations have seen. I mean, they just inherently grow up with a fear that somebody else may have something. I don't know what. I can't see it. I can't prove it. I can't verify it. But I'm already just going to think you're a bad person, that you're going to do something to me over a virus that nobody cares. They don't go out and go, I'm going to get this virus and spread it to everybody I can. Come here, virus. Come here, virus. Come get on me. I'll be your taxi cab. It's so stupid. It's absolutely stupid. I may catch it tomorrow night. It may kill me. Them odds, people, them odds. You live with odds. Life is a game of odds. But what I would hate for someone to think is that I went to my deathbed blaming somebody for something they had no control over. All we are is huge walking petri dishes. I keep saying, people, if you really want to be scared of something, look up brucellosis. That's something to be scared of. This corona crap is easy peasy compared to some of the other stuff that you can get from animals. So, you know something? But I sat there today and I watched little kids not know how to interact with people, and not have any communication skills, think that the iPhone was their only buddy, not even know how to wave back when you wave. Is the emotional pay that you're getting from your fear worth the detriment to the next generation? Is it? Because that's what I ask myself. Is it worth it for me to be so scared of this that I scar the next two people that are going to take my place in this world? Because I don't think it is. And so, as sick as I am, and even though I'm not a candidate for the vax, I think everybody deserves to make their own decision. And you know something? People say, well, I hope you get COVID and die. Well, if I do, it will be the Lord's plan and He will take me home. And that's okay. Because you know something? The only thing I'm absolutely sure about is that death has been riding with me since the day I popped into the world. And He's been a silent partner, but one day He will speak up. And the day He does will be the day I go home. And if we stop this fear-mongering and we start treating people like people again, instead of you're out to kill me, you're a murderer, you're a psychopathic murderer, and you're trying to kill me because of virus. My God, now if you saw something that had a fever blister, you probably run screaming and, you know, think you were in the middle of a horror movie now. People, pull your head out of your hind ends. The view is much better, I guarantee you. Try to find some balance in life. Try to remember that your children still need to know how to socially maneuver through the minutia that people are putting out there today. And be kind to somebody that doesn't expect kindness, because you need to improve somebody's day rather than your own. I've had a crappy day. But you know something? I'm going to kick this. I'm going to get through this. I'm going to whip this. But I'm going to sleep first. MommaLiz out.